Hi, I'm Matt Muns, the president of Advanced Global Resources based out of Irving, Texas. Today, we're having a discussion with Harish Gannavarapu, who is our director of SAP Cloud Infrastructure. This is one of our profiles in leadership. We're going to be talking with Harish today about the methodology we use to move SAP applications into the hyperscaler clouds like the Google Cloud Platform or like Microsoft Azure. So with that, Harish, why don't you share with the audience a little bit about your background and your experience with SAP over your long career?
Yeah, sure, Matt. So my name is Harish Gannavarapu, and I'm the director for SAP Cloud Practice. And I have 27 years of IT experience, out of which 24 years is in SAP, and then 3 years is in networking. And I've done almost 12 implementations and 5 upgrades and 6 migrations. And I've worked with almost 20 different customers in different industries, from aerospace to food and beverages, utilities, oil and gas, and gaming, and hotels, and pretty much all kinds of industries.
I think one of the biggest areas of benefit to companies going to the hyperscaler clouds is security.
Yes.
I think historically people have viewed, hey, I've got my on-prem server, that's a lot more secure than cloud. It's a false sense of security. The hyperscaler clouds are spending tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars on security, R&D, and test, penetration testing, things like that every year. They're really a lot more secure than on-prem solutions these days, and that's why you've seen the federal government, through FedRAMP move to cloud solutions. You've even seen secure clouds within the Department of Defense because there is a lot more security being put into them. What are some common either misconceptions or mistakes people make when they think about security of their cloud solutions?
So first of all, on the security aspect, as you rightly said, now we need more security than what used to be on the data center was, right? So a lot of things, like when you implement SAP in the cloud, you have to pretty much make sure that everything that leaves a SAP environment and coming into an SAP environment, everything needs to be on a secure SSL or SNC, or even and all the data needs to be encrypted, even the data logs, and even the backups while they are in transit, while they are in rest. So all this needs to be taken care. Apart from all this, so there is GDPR compliance. So that's one of the things which customers usually overlook. And then the effort for that, getting the GDPR compliance implemented is going to be very time consuming, and the planning part of it, if you don't consider it, you will really, the security is going to hold up you, and it will delay the project as well.
And you think generally that's an area that's overlooked in the assessment phase?
Yes.
A lot of implementation partners are not thinking about security from day one, and it's something that we're very cognizant of. Again, having done secure, federal government work for a long time.
Yeah, it's because a lot of the customers, they might look at getting into S4, it's just that smart is secure, but what gets out of it and what comes in and what it connects to other components, how is the security implemented? So to my knowledge, basically you have to do end-to-end security. So everything needs to be secure. Everything needs to be data is encrypted, whether it's in HANA or it's in MS SQL. Everything needs to be secure, from the data to the backup to in transit or rest. So.
Yeah. Well, and with the rise of the disconnected workforce over the last few years, and accelerating the last couple of years for sure, people working from their personal mobile devices, from their personal at-home computers, laptops, thinking about extending security down to files and data being moved in and out from personal devices back to the company infrastructure is an area that I think also gets overlooked. It's an area where we as AGR bring some extra tool sets. We bring tools
Like
at the SAP level. We bring tools at the device level. So when folks are emailing sensitive or critical data back and forth, you can't penetrate it that way either. So I think
Yeah,
those are all good
so
points.
I have a point to say there. Like one of the the partnership that we're trying to partner with is the Biolog, right? That's where it's the biometric security. I mean, you rightly said now with the COVID situation, so you are working from home, so your device is accessible by anybody. So you leave it there, anybody can do anything on that. So with the biolog put in place, so you need your fingerprint for you to get in there. So even if you're logged in, even to log in, so the biometric comes up and says, okay, it's double protection. It's not just like you put a user ID credentials and you logged out. I mean, you went out on the other side. But when you are executing a key transactions, so your biolog is coming into handy, where it's double checking, it's only Matt, it's not somebody else.
Yeah.
So that kind of things that AGR gets for the customer, that's the added advantage working with AGR.
Yeah.
Providing
well, and just encrypting and de-encrypting as they move in and out documents too,
Yeah.
or not actually moving files, but moving renderings of documents, so there's no digital footprint that can be stolen at a later date. Those are all things that we look at with our customers. And again, I think that's the right point. People don't think about security end to end across their applications and infrastructure, and it's an area where we pay a lot of attention to. Yeah. Well, Harish, thank you very much. I appreciate you sharing your decades of expertise and deep experience, dealing with multiple hyperscaler platforms and the SAP applications that you and your team migrate and natively implement there. I think the takeaway for our customers is always, you need to think about security end to end as you do this. You need to make sure that your workload is optimized when you're putting this infrastructure in, so you don't over provision and get stuck with additional costs. And then you really need to think about those non-production environments that are 70% of your overall footprint, and how you can utilize them as part of your disaster recovery plan. So we want to mitigate risk with disaster recovery. We want to mitigate risk through security, and we want to optimize the infrastructure to really get the full benefit of the cost of these hyperscaler clouds. So thank you very much. Appreciate your time, and we'll talk soon.
Okay. Thank you.